I'm here with Grace. Grace, hello.
Hello.
Grace, what do you do and who do you work for?
I'm a brand manager for a large cider firm, Aston Manor Cider, and I look after their strong cider brands.
Fabulous, fabulous. And you've agreed to do a few minutes, thank you, to talk about the presentation skills course, which we finished a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So I said I'd ask you a few questions, and you said, I'm not sure I can remember all that. And I said, hey,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We've got to know each other. So my first question is, when you think of the program we did on presentation skills, which is about 6 weeks of different things, what's your reaction to that?
I was shocked at how good it was. Not because I have necessarily lower expectations, but because I just didn't know what to expect. And I went into it thinking that it was going to be more about the physical production of presentations in terms of animations and transitions and all that sort of stuff. And the biggest thing that I took away is ultimately, if you're doing a really good presentation, none of that really matters because the presentation is you.
Oh, I love it. I love that. I love it. I will say later, I'm going to send you 20 quid in the post. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Feel free,
Three
send it if you want.
in two tenors. Three things that you learnt, please, for the folks out there that are listening. What are three things you took away?
Probably one of the biggest is how to turn that nervous energy into positive energy, which is really hard to do because obviously one is really high, one is really low. So rather than saying to yourself, when you're already in that heightened state, rather than saying to yourself, I'm really nervous, try and reframe it as I'm really excited. Because even though I felt quite confident in delivering presentations, kind of post presentation, in the lead up, I would get imposter syndrome and, go through all that. Second thing for me, it's probably the lack of content on the slides
Okay.
because historically within our company, we try and pack the slides with as much information as possible because we feel like we're going to get asked something. We want to feel like we've covered every base. But I think it's less about packing in content and more about having like one key point as part of your story per slide. I
I'm
think,
sure lots of people out there will resonate with that. They go, yeah, yeah, I packed my slides with a whole bunch of
yeah,
text. So, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and ours were just nuts. And then the third one's probably more to do with delivery, and I think it'd be power of the pause because I feel like there's that translates in several different ways because whether you're going a little bit too fast and you need to calm yourself down or you've got that nervous
Yeah.
energy, take a breath. If maybe you're talking about something that's really important and you want that to land for a moment longer, again, have that little pause and generally just that ebb and flow when it comes to delivering presentations and keeping people kind of interested and, their focus on you.
Lovely. So we've got the excited bit, we've got the message per slide, and power of the pause
Yeah,
would be the three. Fabulous,
yeah,
fabulous. All right, they're lovely. And over email last week or so, you shared with me a wonderful story which I hadn't heard apart from the email. So I'd love you
yeah.
to share, would you, the story of what you did at a day where you did it really differently?
Yeah, so we just
Yeah.
recently had company-wide leadership briefing, 4 sites, all of our senior management team. Historically, the commercial team go, we get an hour. Obviously, you'd be presenting loads of slides.
Yeah.
You had said to me as part of my next challenge, try and do a presentation that isn't a presentation, so no slides. Which felt very rogue, and I was super nervous going into it. But I've got 2 products that sit under the same brand umbrella, and I wanted to educate the wider team about what is different about those products, what they've both achieved this year, and what they will be doing next year. So I created a bit of a game where my colleagues stood at either side of the room and held up, kind of like the
Oh,
people that you get in the boxing, held up like the ring cards of the two
nice.
products. Um, Originally, I was going to get the entire group to run back and forth, but because of space, I picked on people. So the tables were all numbered. So I'd be like, come on, 2 people from table 1, get up here.
Love that.
I had my son's blue toy microphone, which does actually work as a microphone as well. And I had the audience going like, ooh. And, if people were like a bit slow to get up, there was lots of like audience participation, but it was great. Our IMD was laughing his head off.
Oh,
Everyone
wow.
was. I felt so good afterwards because so many people came up to me and said that was the best bit of the day. We loved that. And I was in the office the next day and I just had such nice feedback. And it goes to show that even though that was totally out of the norm, everybody responded to it straight away.
I love that.
I'm not sure how I top that now though, because if I get invited back to the next one,
Well, you are a bit like now a stand-up comedian. You've got to top it and top it and
yeah.
just keep. But I think you will. I truly do. And my last question is, that is fabulous. Wonderful story, great example. And the folks out there will also be asking, okay, what's the impact on you and the business? You know, does this stuff make a difference? Does it matter? What would you say?
Oh, 100%. We present to customers, we present to buyers. You know, we often don't get a lot of time in front of them. And previously, we'd be trying to cram in as much in as possible. I think it will totally change our focus and how we kind of schedule planning. Obviously, we've had a lot of documents and different things that we can access via yourselves as well that we can use to do that, which I think is super helpful, just from a confidence point of view. And I think it puts us above kind of the competition as well, because we see a lot of their, you know,
Yeah,
decks or whatever
of
they might
course.
be doing too. Um, I actually think it will provide a real step change for us into the rest of our business, because obviously only a commercial team have done it for now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we were getting the wider teams come back and say, oh my God, that was really good. Because our commercial director, Glenn, he did something a little bit different as well. He didn't present physical slides. Phil,
Brilliant.
who's our on trade, he did slides, but they were very different to what you would have seen before, with like 1 point to a slide and prizes. And just, yeah, it was just our team as a whole, I think will inspire the other teams to think about how they present going forward, which is huge in a business like ours.
It is. And I sit here with a huge amount of pride because you chose and others chose to step outside their comfort zone, get off what we would call the PowerPoint treadmill, and just see if you can do something different that engages people and makes it different.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I keep telling everybody how much I loved it.
Like a game show host. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Grace, I've got to know you over the last 6 weeks. You were a very good presenter anyway. You were probably up there in terms of the top 5%. It sounds like you've gone even higher, which will be amazing. And I can't wait to see you do even more. Wow.
Thank you. Me too.
Well, Grace, a big thank you to you for saying this to the folks at home. Hopefully, some people will listen and they might get in contact. But if they don't, thank you anyway.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Merry Christmas to you, and I'll see you on the other side.
See you later.